Hello, my name is Omar Valdez Rocha. I'm an instructor at El Centro College here in Dallas, Texas, of Spanish, and this is an introductory video for our course Intermediate Spanish 2 for the winter semester. I wanted to make sure that we were on the same page, so I decided to create a video where I go over the syllabus and also go over some of the assignments that you will be required to complete in the next 3 to 4 weeks. First of all, I want to give you my contact information. Just make sure that you keep in touch with me if you have any questions, if you have any concerns. My email address is orvaldez@dcccd.edu. The section for the course is 52403, and since this class is online, I do not have an office location, but if you need to speak to me directly, you can email me or you can Skype with me. Just let me know when you would like to Skype, and my Skype ID is Omar Valdez. This is Intermediate Spanish 2, which means that there are some prerequisites. You need a 1411, 1412, 2311, or their counterparts. I know that the numbers may be different depending on what school you go to. As some of you may know, if you've taken courses with us before, most of the bulk of the work will take place on a website called Kia. So if you already have an account with Kia, the course code is MNF884, and most of the assignments that are taking place in Kia have already been assigned. So if you know what I'm talking about, you can go ahead to Kia now and input this course code in order to begin working on your homework. If this is your first time working with Kia, I will be creating a second video in which I will be explaining a bit further how to access Kia, and I also have made a document available on our eCampus website with step-by-step instructions on how to access Kia. Yeah, so again, my name is Omar Valdez Rocha. This is my Skype ID, and this is the Kia course code. Intermediate Spanish 2 is a culmination of our 4 semester program in which we will continue to develop and explore the topics from Spanish 3. We have a new textbook for this class. For Spanish 1, 2, and 3 at El Centro, we use the Plazas, the textbook Plazas. For Spanish 4, we have the textbook Alianzas, second edition. So you will not need to get the physical copy of the textbook unless that is something that you would like. But for this course, you should purchase the 6-month access code. Everything is done online, and when you purchase the book online, you get access to the workbook, which is the Kia website that I was just discussing earlier, in which you will do the homework in. So you will have the ebook and you will have the workbook, and you purchase the 6-month access for both of them. And the textbook we're going to be using is Alianzas. Okay, so more information about Kia and how to get this 6-month access code in my second video. Okay. But for this video, I wanted to just go over briefly on the syllabus, on the assignments, and what is that you need to do. This is the winter semester. This is roughly a bit less than 3 weeks that we will be working together, which means that it will require a high level of discipline. There will be a lot of work, and you need to know that in advance so that you set aside plenty of time. Not only are you going to work on Kia, on textbook assignments, on listening and speaking assignments on the daily, but you will also be working on separate assignments for eCampus. So make sure that you give yourself plenty of time. The most helpful advice I can give you that I can think of is to work ahead. Because of the nature of this course, there's only 3 weeks. I do not accept any late homework. So you should, life happens. You never know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So you should work a day or two ahead just to be able to uh, prevent any sort of delays for any reason. Okay, so your grade will be calculated based on all of the work you do on eCampus and on the Kia website. And the grade calculation will be done in a point-based system. The total possible points will be 3,500 points. And so if you get between 3,150 points to 3,500 points, you will be getting an A. This is the range for B, this is the range for C, and this is the range for F. Every day on Kia, you will have workbook activities, you will have textbook activities, you will have chapter exams, you will have your midterm and your final. This will all happen on Kia. And then you will have your writing assignments. Your writing assignments you will be submitting through eCampus. So these writing assignments and the Kia assignments will happen at the same time. We have 6 chapters that we will be covering in 6 weeks, which means that you'll be covering a chapter per roughly a little bit less than 3 days. So sometimes you will have 3 days to complete a chapter, sometimes you will have 2. So each workbook, each workbook activity for each chapter will be worth 100 points. The same for the textbook activities for each chapter. So 100 points each, that's 600 per chapter, 100 per chapter per activity. So textbook and workbook. Because we have 6 chapters, you will have 6 tests, 4 regular tests, 1 midterm, and 1 final. So the final is the chapter 6 test, and the chapter 3 test, that's your midterm. This will all happen on the Kia website. The Kia website is the one where you will be purchasing access to. Okay. The writing assignments will happen on eCampus. You will need to write a composition in Spanish. You will need to participate in 2 discussions in English. One discussion is a cultural discussion. The second discussion is one based on analytical thinking. And the last 3 parts, this is the reflective essay paper. At El Centro College and in Dallas County Community College in general, we require the students to write an essay in English to reflect on cultural awareness in general. So you will be getting 600 points for creating a final paper on a topic that has already been assigned. And we will discuss this because this will not be due until January, so we will not be discussing this right away, but you can find that information already on eCampus if you want to know about the topic. But the topics vary from language learning and technology, for example, cross-cultural awareness in urban areas, or it could be technology and language learning in rural areas. So for this project, you need to complete an essay in English to discuss that topic. You need to create a PowerPoint presentation. Since we are not meeting in class, this is the way that you would fulfill a sort of oral presentation about the topic. So the PowerPoint is just your presentation in visual and oral form. And you will also get 200 points for a peer edit assignment, which means that you will be posting a rough draft of your final paper, and other students will give you feedback, and you will be given feedback to other classmates. And in doing so, you will get 200 points, and you will get feedback from other students, and you will need to address those comments from those students in your final draft. So the Kia assignments and the writing assignments total 3,500 points, and this is the letter grades, the letter assignments for each point range. And this is our course calendar. So we will be working really hard every day. You don't have classes during the holiday period, so it'll be a total of 1 week. So from the 24th to the 1st of January, there are no classes. But I would suggest to work ahead and try and complete some of the assignments that you have at the beginning of January. We only have 4 classes, but these 4 classes in January have a lot of assignments that I decided to put at the end because you can make use of this free time to catch up on some of this stuff. If I were to put some of these assignments at the beginning of the first 2 weeks, it would be a bit daunting, the amount of work, because you're completing the work of a regular semester in 3 weeks. So Monday, that's our first day of class. You need to go over the syllabus. You need to watch this orientation video. You need to create a Kia account if you don't have one already, and you need to input that course code if you already have an account. And you need to also go to your eCampus website, which, let's go there now. You go to eCampus for our website, and you need to go to assignments, all assignments. You need to go to discussions, and you need to complete this assignment for me, which is called About Me. And this, you will need to upload a picture of yourself. You need to answer the following questions with a minimum of 3 sentences. Where are you from? Your ethnic background. What experience have you had with Hispanic culture? Do you speak Spanish? With whom? Have you taken Spanish before? This will help me get a sense of who my students are, what their specific needs are. And so this needs to be completed by tomorrow, before midnight. So you go to eCampus, you go to courses, you go to your Intermediate Spanish 2 class, you go to the links here, click on all assignments, click on discussions, click on About Me, you create a thread, and you answer those questions for me. Okay? All right. So going back to the calendar, so that's our first day of class. You look at the syllabus, you watch the orientation videos, you create the Kia account, or you input the course code if you already have one, and you complete the discussion About Me. If I were you, I would start already working on those Kia assignments that are already available. Okay, so on Tuesday, you will have to study the chapter 1 material, the textbook, the chapter 1 on the textbook. You need to watch the lecture videos, my videos, as well as the videos online, and then you need to complete the textbook activities. So for each chapter, I have designed to have one day with the textbook activities being due on one day and the workbook activities being due on the second day. So in this case, for chapter 1, you will have Tuesday, the textbook activities are due. On Wednesday, you will have the workbook activities due, as well as the chapter exam. The chapter exam is on Kia, and it'll show up on your assignment calendar, and you have up to 2 hours and 15 minutes to complete it. You can only access it once. So once you enter the exam, you can only access it for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and you cannot go out or in. You can only access it once. So this structure of chapter 1 will be repeating itself for the next 6 chapters. The textbook activities are due one day, the workbook activities are due the next day, with the chapter exam. And look, we have chapter 2 here on Thursday where you study, and then on Friday you have the textbook activities, the workbook activities, and the chapter exam. On Sunday you will have the textbook activities due for chapter 3, and you have the first culture discussion due. So this is an assignment that will take place on eCampus. So if we go back to eCampus and we go back to our menu here to the left, and you go to all assignments, you go to discussions, you go to the third link, culture discussion, you will create a thread there, you will watch this video, you will answer the questions below, and you need a minimum of 3 sentences per answer. And you will, in order for you to answer, you need to click here, and you need to create a thread, and you need to post your answers based on that video. Okay. So I have highlighted the different assignments with different colors. So the yellow is the textbook activities, the blue is the workbook activities and the chapter exam. Here's the gray is a critical thinking discussion forum. The culture discussion is the gray one, and the midterm exam and the final exam are both in green. The reflective essay, which we'll discuss later on in the semester, is on red. And your composition, the only composition in Spanish that you will complete, is in purple, and that will be due on January 2nd. And I do that on purpose so that you have plenty of time, more than a week while you're on vacation. You're not required to work while you're on vacation. That's it's not obligatory, but if it were me, I would definitely take advantage of that time because you have plenty of work when you come back on the 2nd. Okay, so this is what the assignments look like. Okay, so let me see. Finally, what I need to say about this, just I want you to, for tomorrow, just to look over the syllabus in general, and finally, about academic dishonesty and cheating. You will be receiving an F for the course. First, you will be earning a 0 on an assignment or a grade of F for the course, depending on the situation. If you're using a translator, if you're using a Spanish speaker to complete your work, if you're using any sort of outside help. There's nothing, all you need is your textbook. You need a dictionary. I recommend wordreference.com. You go English, Spanish, and but you do not need an online translator. If you submit assignments with online translators, with people who speak Spanish helping you, you will be receiving a grade of 0 for that assignment, and depending on the the offense, we will have to discuss it later with the people at Dallas County Community College. So our department does not tolerate any sort of collusion or cheating. So if you have any questions regarding this, contact me. But under no circumstances are you to work with someone else or with the help of an online translator. Okay. So finally, just for the course in general, our eCampus website will have everything that you need regarding our course. Let me see. This is our syllabus, and I created a daily calendar, which is the same one that you find on your syllabus, but I just placed it on its own in case you just need to check on due dates. Okay. I have also included a career registration, step-by-step instructions with the course code. So if you've never created a Kia account, you should follow these instructions right here. If you already have a Kia account, you just go straight to the Kia website, books.kia.com, and put your username and your password. If you don't have, just create an account, right? Finally, I will be posting videos, grammar videos for each chapter. So expect most of them are already finished. So they will be available from tomorrow. So when you prepare for each chapter, make sure you look at your textbook, chapter 1, look at the grammar tutorials from the textbook, and look at the grammar tutorials that I have prepared for you. Okay. And I think that's it for this video. I will be creating a second video if you need help working with Kia. But if you have any questions or concerns, just contact me at orvaldez@dccd.edu. Well, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.